defeat. How do you feel like the group responded to that and the work you've gotten in since?
Well, I thought we responded well within the game. Our first half was we were on our heels the entire time. I think it was the first time we like, whoa, these guys are really good, and it took some adjustment. But we played better in the second half, and I think we came away from that with I think an okay attitude. I told the team after the game, they're better than us on December 7th. They have 6 seniors, all of whom 5 of whom could be first round draft picks. They're a good team, but we're still a work in progress, and we're a younger team, and we're not where they're at right now. So, and then we've had finals. So we took Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday off, and we just got back together yesterday, and it was pretty ugly, like you would think. Kids staying up late, studying, not getting into the gym for a few days, especially coming off that game. And today was much better. And then hopefully tomorrow we have one great prep day for Montana State, and then hopefully we take out all our frustrations from last week on Montana State tomorrow or on Sunday.
The schedule is obviously increased, with every passing week. Just you've learned obviously lessons through each game you've played, and what's been the biggest lesson you feel like you learned from that meeting with UCLA?
That we've got a ways to go. I think we've got to be more physical. We've got to be less point guard centric. Katie's doing a phenomenal job, but when she went down with an ankle early in the game, we were back on our heels and we weren't quite ready, and we never recovered from that. And we've just got to we're at our best when we're sharing the ball, when we've spaced the floor and everybody gets involved. And there are times when we bog down because and a lot of that's on me, where because I trust that. And okay, let's do this, but then you get a lot of people start to stand and watch, and so I think playing the Sunday, hopefully we'll get back to what's made us, I think, who we are this year.
Kind of relying on Katie, but it seems like Katie and then it's the post players that are primary score. What's the key to unlocking some of that perimeter scoring outside of Katie with Sophia or an Ari or Avery or somebody else, Astera?
Yeah, well, Ari continues to try to create and do some things. Sophia is the one that, she's a really good player, and I think she's capable of doing a little bit more. We've talked about it. I tell her every day, she's more than just a 3-and-D. She's the best defender on their team by far. And, is an outstanding shooter, but I think she can do more and create more and be more of a playmaker. So we're encouraging that. She's really a good player, and we need more from her. So it's not just the guards. I think AT's got to shoot, be a little bit more assertive. Avery, I think, is coming. She's getting there. She's doing some things, and building on it week to week. We need some more from her. And then, you're right. Our inside players have been the beneficiary of a lot of Katie's passes. And Katie's still getting better. I thought if you were up at practice today, she's now starting to see the perimeter a little bit better. I think sometimes in the game, and I'm talking about somebody's averaging 9 assists playing like this. So she sees the immediate person next to her, but it's seeing that whole court, and she's getting there. I saw a big improvement today.
You guys started running a man defense very heavily early in the year, but what have you liked about the zone defense, and what options has that opened up, especially down low for Heath and Brandis?
Well, our 1-2-2 the last 2 weeks has been our best defense by far. It was our worst defense against UCLA. I thought we had a pretty good plan, and everybody has a good plan. What is that Mike Tyson quote? Everybody's got a plan until they get hit in the face, right? And we were hit in the face by 6'8" Lauren Betts and others, and it took us aback a little bit. So we actually played primarily man-to-man in the second half, and we did a good job. I thought we, maybe I psyched us out, thinking we had to do something different, something special. We really packed in that zone, and it just didn't work. Lauren just threw over our double teams. It's nice to do a double team, but she just threw right over us. So, we just started taking her player to player, and it worked a lot better.
With Mia, she has 2 pretty good older sisters who kind of beat up on her playing when growing up. In your experience, what kind of commonalities do you see amongst players who do have siblings that have played at kind of at this level, and how has that kind of allowed her to have the success that she's had here with you guys?
Well, that's a great question. I'm not a psychologist, so I wouldn't be able to totally answer that. Or sociologist, what would that be? Both. I know among my three boys, my youngest, Will, ended up being the best basketball player of all of them because he had to, keep up. They didn't cut him any slack. If he wanted to play with them, he had to step up his level of play and got beat a lot. So they learned from it, and it toughens you up a little bit. And he has great confidence. So does Mia. She gets beat up a little bit, but she's been used to doing that with her sisters, but she has great confidence. Oh, I'll come back and I'll get the next one. So I think it does, being the youngest, I think some situations they might be coddled and babied, but I think athletes who have older siblings who play, I think they've had to catch up to keep up. And, Mia, I think, still has a little bit more to give. She's really good at drawing fouls. And right now, the last couple of games, she's just been kind of a play horse. Get me on the three-point line. I think she can create a little bit more. So we're asking her to be, again, more assertive to Eric's point from earlier.
This Montana State team, they're obviously seemed a little scrappy, a couple of big wins already. One against Colorado, obviously, we know how successful their program has been. What sort of challenges do you see from them? And what
they just keep coming at you. They've got 9 players that play a bunch. They have a style. They have a personality. You know who they are. They're going to pressure you 94 feet. On a made basket, they're just standing there ready to trap you and put pressure on you, and kind of like what we've tried to do to some degree. But yeah, a couple of top 60 wins already at Colorado. And I watched that game. They came from 13 down in the fourth quarter to win that game. And then UNLV, which is a really good win. So this is a good program. Went to the NCAA tournament last year, won 30 games. They're picked to win the Big Sky. It'll be a really good test. One of my former players' daughter is averaging 18 points a game for her, Addie Harris, and she's a heck of a player. Better than her mother. And her mother was really good, but she didn't average 18. Yeah. Well, actually, the next 2 games, Portland, one of their players, Lainey Spear, her mother played for me as well. So this week we get a reunion.
What makes he's so good at rebounding at her size?
Just a want to. She's got a nose for it. She's strong and relentless. Yeah, I noticed the latest stats. I think she's averaging almost 9 offensive rebounds per 40 minutes. So that's significant. She just got a nose for it, Quick jump.
What does that give you, bringing a player like that off the bench, just that can kind of haul in all those rebounds for you?
Well, it's nice to have that spark, but if she keeps playing like this, she won't be coming off the bench. She's just playing really well, and right now at times she's our second best ball handler. She can get a rebound, go coast to coast. She's just kind of fearless, and I still think she's right here and could be up here. And a lot of it's just in her own mind. I'm not sure she really knows how good she can be. So, but when you see her and Katie, a couple of sophomores doing what they're doing, it really speaks well for our program for this year and beyond.
About the Heat and kind of the ceiling there. How much does a performance like she had against UCLA, though, maybe reinforce some of what she can be, where she was such a spark there against some of the best players in the country? How much can that help?
Yeah, it can only help. But talk to her about that. I think the more she does that and sees that, then the more she starts to believe, hey, I'm a beast. He's the beast. He put it out on social one time. Is that trademarked? Copyrighted? Yeah. She's a delight to coach. She's just very sarcastic, just low key, self-deprecating. Just I don't know. She's wonderful to be around. She really is easy to be around.
Injury question with what's going on with Sarah Parham?
Don't know. Yeah, she's getting better. She's now doing some drills. She's not yet been cleared for 5-on-5, but it's coming, I think, in the next few weeks, hopefully by Christmas maybe. Sammy Wagner's back playing, so she's practicing for the first time, which is good. So we're starting to get healthier.
With Sarah to begin with?
It's a knee issue with her. Yeah. Poor kid. She had, she was out for about 8 weeks, late summer, early fall, and then gets hurt again. She just hasn't, happened sometimes. These freshmen, they come in and, it's a big jump physically.
Nevia's got to travel with you guys down to UCLA for the first time. It was the first travel since her injury, right? How was that, having her there kind of on the side? How has that been, just having her offer her advice to some of the players from the bench?
Well, are you talking about Elisa?
Yeah.
Yeah. Great to have her. I mean, she's amazing. As a coach, I'm going, man, she should be flying. Should she be walking around LAX? All that kind of stuff. But I think sometimes when you get injured and you don't make the road trips, you start to become a little detached from the rest of the team. And I think it was important for all of us that she was with us so she can stay connected to everybody. She got cleared from the doctors and the trainers, so who am I to say she can't go? And but she can only help because she's got a great personality, great head for the game. She can help some of the younger players. She's a big help for Katie. And just to have that positivity around, she's like that every day. Here she's got a serious knee injury, and she's just as upbeat as ever, So.
The last maybe 2 years on campus here, we've seen a ton of those e-scooters that a lot of the athletes are using to shuttle around. As a coach, do you have conversations with the kids about not hurting yourselves?
Not necessarily a conversation I should have, right? They should know that, I don't like it. I get it. That's the mode of transportation around campus. I'm old-fashioned. I walk from point A to point B. It scares me, and we've had, an injury this year, kept one of our players out on that very deal. I get scared sometimes. I love to walk campus. I do. That's one of my favorite things to do when I get my daily walk. And you have to play, dodge a scooter from time. They go fast. And I'm thinking, they hit a rock or a pebble or a line or something, and who knows what happens. So, yeah.
Going back to the schedule, right? It's the last kind of wave of non-conference. Just how important is it for this team to finish up the right way before you guys, kick off the rest of Big Ten play? With
I
Michigan
think critical. Yeah, I told them, yesterday when we practiced for the first time, we got to get back up on the horse. We got knocked off on Sunday. We got to get back up. And sometimes that first loss, you get, it jolts you a little bit. So, we've got a couple games to get ready and better and. Starting with Montana State. Then Portland comes in. They run the same kind of system, same style, so that's good. We've got these. And then the game at Stanford, going into a tough Michigan. I think we opened with Michigan, right? Big Ten. So this is a tough stretch. We kind of had it, it was manageable in November, and then this December schedule starting with the Beavers, and then UCLA is really starting to amp up and get us ready for Big Ten.
Stanford, I know Tara's been retired for the last couple of years. Does it feel nice not to have to worry about Tara Vanderveer and what she brings?
Well, yeah, I mean, Hall of Famer, the winningest coach of all time, but Kate Pay was at her side, both as a player and then as a coach. So it's the same. You're getting the same level of coaching. But, I miss Tara. We had a nice rivalry going for many years. She's a great woman. I wish her the best in retirement. Glad she's not around, but I miss her at the same time. You can do that, bro. Yeah. All right. You guys, I wish you all the best. If I don't see you before the holidays, maybe I will after one of these games. But if you happen not to be there, I wish you the best. Yeah. Love on everybody that needs to be loved on, man. Because we need it. The world needs it.